Okay, here is our next day. Titles, graphing lines. The date is October 1st, 2013. What we're learning today is we're going to learn how to graph a line given a table, 2 points, and an equation. This is what you need to use to form your essential question. Okay, we should be getting used to this by now. Alright, our do now is find the slope of the lines through the following sets of points. So we have 2 sets of points. I want to know what the slope is. I want to know what the slope is here. You have several methods that you learned yesterday that you can use to find those. Graphing from an equation. Here's our steps. We need to get y alone. So here's an example, and there's y, and it's all alone. So we're going to start on b. Well, our b is our y-intercept in our formula y equals mx plus b. So here's our b. b is -2. So we're going to start on -2. Then I'm going to move with m. My slope in this one is 7/2. So the 7 tells me I go up 7 because it's positive, and the 2 tells me I go to the right 2 because it's also positive. So I'm going to go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and I'm going to go over 2. And I'm going to put my next point, and my line will go through these 2 points. So now I draw the line. You can check with your calculator by typing this into your y equals and hitting graph, and it will give you the graph. Alright, here's another one. We need to get y alone. Notice in this one, y is not alone. So we are actually going to have to get y alone. And the way we do that is we want to draw our lines. We want to put y's on this side and everything else, which is x's and numbers, on this side. So we look at what's here. We have an x. It does not belong on our y side, so I'm going to subtract it. If I subtract it from one side, I must subtract it from the other side. So what I'm left with on this side is 5y, and then I have -3x minus 5 because I cannot combine those because one has an x and one does not. Now I have a 5y and I want just one y, so I have to divide by 5, and if I divide that side by 5, I have to divide everything on the other side by 5. So I get y equals -3/5x minus 5/5 is 1. So I'm going to rewrite that up here. Y equals -3/5x minus 1. And I'm going to erase the rest of this that I don't need anymore so that I can now graph the line. Okay, so we're erasing everything that we don't need, and we now have our line written so that y equals -3/5x minus 1. So now we've got y alone. We're going to start with b. b is -1. So I'm going to put a point at -1. Then I'm going to move with m, and m equals -3/5. The -3 tells me I'm going to move down. The +5 tells me I'm going to the right. So I'm going down 1, 2, 3, and to the right 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here's my second point, and my line goes through the center of those 2 points. So I would draw the line and it would look something like that, maybe a little bit better. And then I'll check with a calculator. I'll type this into y equals, hit graph, and make sure that my line looks like the line the calculator gives me. For graphing from a table, plot the points on the graph and connect them. That's all it is you've already been given points, your x and y's. Plot them on your graph wherever they go and draw a line between them. Graphing from 2 points. Again, you're going to plot the 2 points on the graph that you're given and connect them. And there's your graph.